What's up, guys? This is Austin with Overkill Wash Equipment. Behind me, I've got our newest, biggest, baddest rig that's gonna be hitting the streets here in Jacksonville this week. Come on, and I'll show you around. All right, guys, so this trailer here is an 8.5 by 16 deck over trailer. Kind of the same standard that we're putting out. Composite boards, flat deck, no extra side rails, none of the extra BS that comes on like the utility trailers and stuff like that. We're really trying to make this as close to a truck flatbed as possible to give it a lot more of a feasible option when you're working off this thing. This one's got 7,000 pound axles, stiffer sidewall tires. It's got a 12,000 pound manual jack. Over here on this jack, we're actually going to be doing a cool conversion. We're waiting for it to show up. It's going to be the drill powered one that just clamps onto the side here. It's got a high gear and a low gear option where you can just zip it with your drill, sling it up, sling it down. It's good to go. So that's kind of a rundown on what this trailer is. We took care of the ladder rack and cage in-house. We've got some extra gussets for support all throughout this. This is our steel ladder rack mounted to the frame itself. So that gives him some ability to throw some ladders up there. It's also set up to add light bars, some signage, some of that other goodies later down the road once he starts making some money with this thing. On this side of the trailer, just quick overview, you got your storage boxes, our aluminum 48-inch buyer's boxes, 3 auxiliary tanks for different uses. He's got a custom Yeti cooler that we added for him with his logo and stuff on top. This is your hot water 5.5 gallon unit, and then you got your fuel tanks. He's dropping me off his other trailer. This is it. Oh yeah, that thing's pretty sweet. Yeah. If you just want to park up, just park somewhere up in there. If you want to back your trailer up and drop it on the rocks, just want to do that. That'll give me like 5 minutes to get this finished up, and then we'll start going through all this. All right. All right. So we're gonna start here at the front of the trailer. We've got our AR45, all 1-inch plumbing on this thing. We've got a remote start. We have a fuel pump added onto this, and we have an electric rinse system over there that I'm about to show you. So with the AR45s, they have a lot more performance than the P40s, so they require 1-inch plumbing. We've ran ARs on 3/4-inch plumbing. The pump chatters. It's just not enough volume to keep up with what that pump puts out. So this thing is operating phenomenally. So we move over here. We've got 2 Honda GX690s, 8.5 gallon a minute at 4,200 PSI. These are the AR pumps that are coming on these new BE skids, so they give us a little bit of a higher pressure rating with these pumps. So on the front here, we've got our downstream boxes. So when we turn the power on to the circuit breakers, you guys have seen these in some of my other videos. Basically, you can come in here, flick your switch over if your remote dies. So that's why we like using this model, is you can manually flip it if you know, your remote dies. You get a bad day out in the field, you drop your remote in the water, you're not SOL, you still have access to being able to flip that switch. It's got a toggle switch on the bottom to kill power to it as well. Over here, you got your left GX690, same exact thing. These are both cold water 8.5 gallon a minute units. They're able to do a lot of your surface cleaning. It's got exhaust diverters on it to shoot that exhaust up away from all the plumbing and whatnot. Over here, you've got your electric bypass mounts. So we do hose reel bypasses on our rigs as kind of a standard option now. So all of our hose reels are going to be mainly for storage, with the exception of your garden hoses and then your AR45 for the most part. So all he's got to do, pull off 50 foot of hose, hook it up, pull off 100, 200, whatever he's using to be able to go through and attach these machines. Now, he's also going to get a Siamese kit for these so he can run 16 gallons a minute later down the road. Over here, this is going to be our 5.5 gallon a minute hot box hookup. So he can pull his 2-wire off, plug it right up there, fire up the burner, and let it eat. As we make our way this way down the trailer, we've got our metering system with all Asahi valves. We've got 2 1-inch valves, a 1/2-inch valve. So it's gonna be our water, our soap, our bleach. On the side over here, we have our soap distribution block is what we call it. Each of these colored zip ties correspond with a label that's on the other side of the trailer that goes to each of those tanks. Yellow on this build is soap, green is going to be neutralizer, and this purplish color is going to be auxiliary, which in this specific instance is going to be a degreaser. So you basically can select whichever of these soaps or auxiliary tanks. That leads over to your soap valve here. You can meter that accordingly, and then whenever you click your remotes on off, that then turns and opens this or closes this to allow soap to come through and mix with your bleach. On the back of this system over here, we've got our 1-inch T-jet valve that will allow you to select between water, which is our blue hose, green, which is our bleach hose, and then it outputs to a mixture colored hose, same thing, green, comes over to our bleach valve here, as you can see. So that's what allows you to be at the back of the house, click on chemical, click off chemical, and make sure that you're doing everything as quick as you can while you're still producing quality. On this side of the metering system, we have our downstream distribution block, is what we'll call this. This is what controls the other block over there, the chemicals that are coming into this, which machine it's going to go to. So this corresponds, if you turn this flat, that goes to the right machine, this goes to the left machine. So that's what that's for. Colored zip ties also correspond with the common chemical colors that we're going to be using on our builds, which if you follow me right over here, that's what this is. This is our downstream block, selector, whatever you want to call it. So you've got your water, your bleach, and your soap. So at any point you come over here, you click on one of these, that goes over to this block, then you select which machine you want to send it to. You typically are only going to be running one of these at a time, otherwise you're going to be diluting your bleach down if you mix it with degreaser and whatnot, just because the downstream doesn't pool well. So it makes it very easy. You don't have to drop stick anything. You don't have to freaking spill your bleach all over the trailer. It's very straightforward. It's really easy to tell what the colors go to. We've got our AR-45 reel here. It's got a water boss gun on it. The customer decided to do manual reels on this build, so you know, we did it for him. We made it work. I'd love to see some electrics on this thing. He's gonna take this thing for a couple weeks and he's gonna want to throw some electrics on it. So that one's your AR-45. Coming over here, we've got two 18-inch King's reels that have garden hoses on them. So this is gonna be your water supplies for the trailer. Coming down over here, we've got 3/8 single wire. We've got 3/8 2 wire, which is gonna be mainly for your hot box. On the back side of the trailer, got a couple things going on here. Got a nice custom fire hydrant hookup here, so he can just hook his hydrant hose up, open the valve, send water into the tank. You've also got a good dump valve to let water out, to fill up a bucket or something fast, do whatever. He's also got a third auxiliary water hookup that's got 1-inch plumbing from the back of this valve all the way up to the tank. That's going to allow him to hook off of a big backflow, something like that, that's bigger than your standard garden hose off of a house, to get as much water going in as possible. We hooked him up with some sea decking back here. This is going to allow some protection on the back bumper, just so if you're getting up and down, dragging hoses, it's not going to tear up the paint as much. It'll tear this up first, which is a little bit easier and cheaper to replace. Got our 100-gallon bleach tank, custom aluminum tank straps from our boys down there at C3 Skids. We had the powder coating done here locally, red to match all his branding and kind of the theme of the trailer here. As we walk over here, we've got two 48-inch boxes. So they're mainly just storage boxes. Got some random fittings and stuff in there for them. Down here, got just some extra soaps. He's gonna end up outfitting all this stuff the way he wants, but this is where we've got all the remotes and whatnot, just to be able to control all of the stuff for the trailer. Right here, we've got all three of our auxiliary tanks. So these are going to be soap tank, neutralizer tank, and auxiliary tank, which, like I talked about over there, the auxiliary tank is going to be the degreaser in this specific instance. So come over here and I'll show you. Each of these lines also have colored zip ties on them, which correspond with the labels on the front of the tanks and over on the other side to the distribution blocks. Yellow for soap, green for neutralizer, and then pink/purple for our auxiliary tank. We hooked him up with a custom Yeti. I think this is a 45 cooler, so brand spanking new with his logo emblem on top. So now he's got somewhere to throw some waters. It fits in here perfectly. He can pull it off the truck, put it on a boat, or do whatever he wants to do with it. And all you got to do is basically just slide these things off, just like that. Do the other side, and she's good to go. So it's got a good, secure point where it's not going to just come flying off the trailer here. Moving over here, we've got our 5.5 at 3,000 PSI belt drive unit. This is going to be our hot box unit here. This one also has a fuel tank delete, so it's got a fuel pump that draws off of our 22-gallon fuel cell over there. On the side, we've got an hour meter that we put on as well, just so you can gauge your hours, your maintenance, all that kind of good stuff. Hot box over here for the burner, so you just flip your switch. You'll hear the burner igniter come on, or the blower rather. Once you start sending some water through it, that thing's gonna ignite and take off like a rocket. Over here, 11-gallon diesel tank, 22-gallon gas tank. This stuff will run for a good bit before you need to fill it up. And then coming back over here on the front, we added some more sea decking on the tongue just for getting up on the trailer, just to help, you know, with some wear and tear, to kind of keep things from getting jacked up. And then in the center, you've got your burner. It's a 5.5-gallon burner. And then we've got our 2 deep cycle marine batteries, circuit breakers, and just kind of some miscellaneous stuff up in there for the electrical side of things. So now all he's got to do whenever it's the end of the day, you just come over, shut your power off to the trailer, and you're done. This thing's ready to rip. All right, guys, I hope you're as excited as I am about this build. Again, this is our newest one, and it's also my ability to share the new company name, which is Overkill Wash Equipment. We literally mean every single bit of that word as we start building these things. Is we want to make sure they're overplumbed, overwired, overbuilt, and of course, overkill is kind of what the name is. So if you need something like this, if you want something that's going to hold up, that you're not going to have to babysit, give us a call. We're based here in Orange Park, Middleburg, Florida. The phone number is going to be 904-333-6000. Thanks for watching and have a great day.